Welcome to the show, everyone. It's the Crypto Lark. Today, I got the chance to sit down with the team from Omnitude to talk about their upcoming ICO. Before we get into that, a quick shout out, as always, to everyone who's been hitting that like button, and of course, everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that button down below or the bell to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is, of course, not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. This is an ICO. Please do your own due diligence before investing your own money, because there is always a certain amount of inherent risk in any ICO. Furthermore, this is not a sponsored review. This is just a project that I thought was interesting, so I wanted to get to talk to the team and let you guys know about it. Let's get into it. Today I have with me Chris Painter. He is the CEO and the founder of Omnitude Tech. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, can you give us the elevator pitch? What is Omnitude all about?
So Omnitude's a blockchain integration layer. So what we aim to do is make the connectivity between other blockchains, enterprise systems, and e-commerce systems a lot easier. And via that, people can go in there and build apps within that ecosystem that we're hoping to do. It's a set of tools to enable people to create blockchain projects quite simply and easily to drive adoption.
Great. And so what's really the current state of e-commerce? What's, I guess, inspiring you to come in? What's the problem that you're trying to solve?
So my other business is an e-commerce agency. So we've spent the last, 12 years doing this integration piece, constantly doing the same thing over and over again, just integrating different systems. And so via that kind of inspired us then, well, this has got to be easier. And then obviously dealing with Omnitude. And so it solves a big problem for us anyway, and a big headache, creates a lot less work for us, but also lets us do a lot more exciting things as we started to explore that, what we could do with that technology once it was a lot quicker. Obviously at the moment it takes 3-4 weeks to integrate a piece of software. With Omnitude, hopefully it should be a matter of hours, if not a day or two.
Wow. That's a big difference, I think, for anyone out there in the e-commerce space, without a doubt. What are
yes.
Except for perhaps that, what's the biggest problem right now with e-commerce?
I think obviously e-commerce is kind of the biggest problems for e-commerce are the things that kind of blockchain solves. So fraud is a massive problem in e-commerce. Transparency, immutability, all of that. Those blockchain things are, the major problems we have got with e-commerce. Specifically, once you start looking in certain sectors like pharma, where the amount of fake medicines we've got, the amount of kind of fraudulent retailers, fraudulent reviews as well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that transparency will really help with e-commerce, and those kind of truthful, honest players will get a bigger shot. Obviously, people are driven to the larger retailers just because of trust, which then makes it harder for smaller retailers to get their products out. But with some of the benefits of blockchain within that, it means that you can trust the transaction you're making isn't with someone with 2,000 fake reviews, that they're honest, and stuff like that. And so it enables smaller businesses to flourish as well.
That's really important. And I don't think anyone who's never tried to sell something online doesn't realize what kind of a problem that is when you're starting off on any, local kind of trading platform. Hey, you have 0 reviews. No one's going to trust you. They're all going to go and buy off the guy who's got 10,000 reviews, or the guy who's got 2,000 reviews but is a fraudulent guy. So it's definitely a problem. Now, what kind of applications do you see people building on Omni?
So one of the kind of things that obviously there's kind of 3 separate parts of Omnitude in terms of who it's for. So you've got enterprise, which is the bigger integration piece, which is just connecting systems and then using those data flows to do certain things. But for me, probably the more exciting bit is smaller retailers can start to use the kind of intelligence and business rules that bigger retailers have. So using, for example, data from your analytics to drive pricing on your e-commerce platform, or merging that with your order history from before to then change how you reorder your stock. Possibly starting to bring ERP to smaller retailers, which is a massive benefit. It kind of levels that playing field between the smaller retailers and bigger ones. And yeah, it's mostly that, kind of using data to inform your business decisions. Sorry, excuse me.
That's all right. Very cool. So what are you doing to prevent fraud?
So there's multiple things. So one of the things we've got is proof of interaction. So that within our blockchain, you can see that, say, for example, someone's got reviews. You can go and inspect those reviews and see that that transaction actually took place. Obviously, it's anonymized, that we've got that security bit, but you can check that that transaction definitely took place. The same for the retailer themselves. They can go and see that that person's transaction history across other retailers. Again, anonymized to protect security, but you can see that they're interacting. You can see that for example, their address is linked to who they say they are. And part of that is that you can do more enhanced security on ones that perhaps are less well respected within the Omnitude ecosystem. And also just possibly price incentives or better promotions for people that engage fully within the community.
Very cool. Now you guys are also looking at tackling supply chain. Is that correct?
Yeah, so one of the things with Omnitude is we want to build this tool set that we're going to use, and that we're going to use and everyone else is going to use, that wants to, obviously, that they can go in and start building these apps. So once we've done that, we then want to work on some of our own premium apps that we want to use the experience that we've got in business to start building things and using them also as showcases and possibly even starting points for other people to come and make their own apps. So we want to help the community. So these premium apps will be released and documented so people can use that as, examples. So one of the things that we want to do is look at immutability in supply chain, and transparency within that. There's a lot of, things like counterfeit goods, stuff like that. We want to give people that framework to start doing those kind of technologies. The other thing with the apps that we're doing, a lot of people have been saying, oh, you're competing with XYZ. The reason we're doing these is to give examples for people to either further technology, use our skills to do something, but we also want to integrate with all those other blockchain projects. So if you're a retailer and you want a supply chain piece, you can use our supply chain piece, you can use one of the other blockchain projects ones that hopefully we're integrating. That data can become available within ours and easier to integrate with your e-commerce platform.
Ah, interesting. So instead of seeing the other blockchain-based supply chain providers as competition, that you could actually find synergies to work with them.
Yeah, we want to integrate with as many as possible, so that the benefit. We're not there to kind of lock people into our platform. We want to be that layer that enables people to rapidly use blockchain technology. So part of that is any project that wants to integrate with us, we'll openly welcome them in and connect them into the Omnitude system to make them available for anyone that's using Omnitude.
Very cool stuff. Now, what about customer relations? How can we help improve customer relations using Omnitude? Is there any sort of ways that you're looking at that?
So one of the ones that we want to do is via the Omnitude ID is single sign-on. So you go any e-commerce site using Omnitude, you can go in and using your Omnitude ID, sign into it instantly. So you don't have to go register, don't have to type your address and everything. You choose, obviously, you sign on. And so after that, we then want to share things like body measurements. So for a retailer, obviously one big issue for e-commerce is returns. I'm not sure on the exact stats, but I think it's something like 30% of goods are returned. So that's a negative interaction. Yeah, it's massive. So by having your body measurements stored in the blockchain and shared when you interact with the retailer can suggest which of their sizes is the best fit for you, rather than just being, say, for example, you're a size 38, 40, whatever. They can look at the body measurements and how they size their goods, obviously, especially in women's fashion, The women are a different size across every different retailer. So by doing that, your size is pre-selected. So there's less chance of a return. There's a better interaction because it should come, it fits, it looks fabulous. You then like that retailer. And so by that, it solves a big problem with returns, but also a better interaction between the customer and the retailer.
I'm just imagining the difficulty in getting, some people in particular to put their honest size on the blockchain. We sent you a 2, but I said I'm a 2. You're not actually a 2, are you? This is gonna happen, but you can't stop that. You have to trust people to be honest about their size when they're buying stuff online.
Yes, and that's the thing. There's nothing worse than you get something that you're really looking forward to it, and it doesn't fit or it's too big.
Absolutely.
So having that kind of guarantee that what is there. Obviously, things like the body measurements will be anonymized. We're also doing something else, which we need. Obviously, we're quite an early stage in terms of how the final technology is going to work. One of the things we want to look at is possibly, and again, this will be retailer and customer demand, but whether we can make it so you don't even have to share your details with the retailer. But the only person that needs to know when you buy something online is the courier. So potentially you can have it so that you buy something and your data is sent to the courier instead of the retailer. So your data then is secure. The retailer never gets it. They just know that the courier is going to come up and pick box ID 1008 up. And the courier is then the one that actually knows where you live. And the retailer's either given maybe some anonymized demographics or something to help them with their marketing. But that then helps us towards data protection, which again is another massive problem that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. If I think about how many places that certain parts of my information are online, it's just everywhere. You think about all the different years of signing up on different websites all over the place, and they all have your data. It's all sitting in a data center somewhere just waiting to be hacked, basically. And so if you have this more anonymized data set, it's amazing. Without a doubt. So you guys are going to be doing into warehouse management as well. Does that kind of come back a little bit to just some of the possible use cases here, or what's your approach to that?
Yeah, so that we're not actually building our own ERP or WMS. We're just connecting the data from that. So if you've got your warehouse management data accessible, sorry, you can display kind of live supply chain information to the end user. So especially in the case of pre-ordering, they can see when it's arrived into the warehouse, and so on. Then you can start using that data in different ways. A lot of the existing data, even now with non-blockchain, is quite siloed. So by creating one of the other things that we want to do is to enable everyday people to go and build apps. The innovation at kind of scale. So people that might not necessarily, not an IT department, not the tech guys, but someone that's just got a problem that they know how they do it, and you give them the tools to solve their own problem. It's for them when you get really great innovation, and you've got everyone building apps that you can just test them. You give everyone access to the data and an easy enough UI to build that. You then get amazing things start to happen.
Absolutely. It's the old saying, right? You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man how to make warehouse management apps, and he's able to buy as many fish as he wants. Something like that, anyway. Okay, let's talk about payment gateways. What is your solution for that?
So one of the big problems kind of stopping the rise and adoption of blockchain is it's still quite hard for people to be able to buy cryptocurrencies. Once you've got some, it's quite easy. You can trade between them and so on. But that first step of getting fiat into cryptocurrencies is a nightmare still. And similar to that, it's also quite hard to get cryptocurrencies back into fiat. Again, it's that one connector. That's the major problem with that. And this, as far as I'm aware, there's not really anyone that's smoothly done crypto in e-commerce. There's a few out there that you can pay, but it's still nothing's that elegant, should we say? So you've got these two pools of people: the people that want to get their cryptocurrencies back into fiat, the people that want to get their fiat into cryptocurrencies, and hopefully a load of retailers that want to hopefully accept payment within cryptocurrencies. So what Omnitude hopes to do, and we haven't told anyone this yet, is match those two groups of people up instantly at the point of purchase. So those people, we'll have an order book of all those people that want to get their crypto back into fiat. They'll set the price that they want to exchange that. And then at the point of purchasing across the entire Omnitude network, bearing in mind that this could be 50, 100,000 sites, with all those people purchasing, they can see a live exchange rate into crypto. So they can pay in fiat, which goes to that person that wanted to sell out. The retailer gets the cryptocurrency that they wanted. And so someone's then instantly bought in cryptocurrency, but via fiat, while someone else has transacted out. So we've got this kind of live exchange at the point of checkout, which for me, I think is amazing. If we can pull it off, it's got a lot of clever thinking. We've got to do all the legal work around all the smart contracts and so on. But then arguably Omnitude might also become one of the biggest exchanges of cryptocurrencies by doing this live thing at the point of sale. And a bit different to a standard exchange, you can set your price. So it'll always show the lowest price possible for you to exchange. But across a network of thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of sites at the end of the day. And we're doing those live crypto exchanges and enabling that seamlessly across it, that you just see an exchange rate.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty big, I think. We're only at the idea stage, but that's one of the things that Omnitude enables us to do stuff like that.
Really cool. And I guess, I don't know if you've looked, I guess, outside as well for perhaps some different influences. I know that there's a lot of different projects out there like Loopring and Kyber Network, which, you know, can potentially even help that process that you guys are working on moving forward. So I don't know if, again, if there's room for synergies there, but that's really interesting what you're aiming to do, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's, like I said before, that we're open to working with other projects. We don't want to restrict any part of Omnitude. And we invite people to come in and use that, and possibly also kind of hybrids between different technologies. That some certain parts that we do, that they're things that we want to explore. And for us, the more people involved with a piece of software or a project, the better it is. Any kind of restriction just stifles innovation and stifles change.
Absolutely, it does. Now, you're kind of aiming to be an all-encompassing ecosystem. Do you worry that perhaps you're trying to do too much?
I don't think we are. It's a big project, hence why I don't think there's anyone else trying to do what we're trying to do specifically. But we're building the tools and then giving it out there for other people to work. So we're not trying to do all these things on our own. We want the community to come in and start building and using Omnitude to do these kind of things. We're enabling everyone to get involved and be part of that community. So I think there's a need for Omnitude in the market, and it will be a massive jump in blockchain technology once we launch Omnitude. That something like this, it doesn't really exist in non-blockchain world. The fact that also it then exists in blockchain, that you have this this common denominator across everything. If it goes the way that I think it will, then it'll be massive, and it'll be a leap forward for blockchain, hopefully. And by, as I've said, by being open, by integrating, not restricting any of our things, hopefully we can drive adoption with other blockchain projects, but also other normal software projects as well.
Awesome. What exactly is the function of the token?
So the token will, on the simplest level, will be used as gas within it. So obviously we've got the Omnitude product, and we've got data flowing across that. So that data will cost gas. We'll also be using staking in terms of nodes. There's quite a few other kind of bits, and we're still exploring the full token economy as to where we'll do it. Obviously the biggest use will be gas, which means we'll be slowly burning that as well to then be driving demand for the token up higher. We'll have quite a lot staked across nodes. And we'll also be using the ecom token have a kind of reward element. So if you sign up, these are just some of the ones. Obviously, there's too many uses to list. But say you sign up someone new to the Omnitude platform, you collect all their data and they create an Omnitude ID, you get a small amount of reward every time that's used. So then it rewards people for bringing people into the ecosystem as well.
Really cool. Why did you decide to build on Hyperledger?
Because of speed. So something like this, we need a guarantee of speed. So for example, Ethereum we can't have CryptoKitties kind of affecting a business network. Right.
Ethereum is never going to live CryptoKitties down. It's going to plague them for years.
Yeah, I'm waiting for days for a transaction. It's like, you can't have this. So yeah, we need that certainty and prediction of speed. So one of the things we want to be able to do is, in times of congestion, spin up a load of nodes quickly to clear that, but also have Hyperledger's. The current estimate for Hyperledger should be 100,000 transactions per second. And one of the things that we're hopefully trying to do, no kind of promises on this, but before our ICO, we'll also have a Hyperledger speed test that we're going to release, showing the speed that it's running at, which I think should be good. Obviously, Hyperledger is not at the 100,000 transactions per second, as I'm currently aware, but I think that's the current estimate for the next 4 to 5 months. And obviously we're not launching straight away, but we're going to show where the system lies at today and what kind of transaction speed and volume we should be able to cope with.
Well, if you can get above 15, you're kicking Ethereum's butt anyway, so.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, you know, we need that, the scope of what we're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, e-commerce is just massive. This is the thing, is that you absolutely need those many transactions per second. If you imagine for a second, global commerce happening across millions of websites, people buying things all around the world. It's huge, without a doubt, and especially at peak hours in peak regions, you'll have a lot of traffic going through, without a doubt. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the team. By the way, I loved the AMA that you guys did. This is like the most British AMA ever. There were the Beatles in the background, a bottle of gin. There's the bulldog statue. I mean, like, that. It couldn't have got any more British if the Queen had walked in. But anyway, tell me about the team. Who are the people behind Omnitude?
So, obviously, you've seen who we've got at the moment. We've got a core team. We've got the person responsible for that very British AMA is John, our brand director.
He's good at his job.
For he's the one that's brought the brand to life. And as you've seen, we've had a lot of comments about from our white paper, our videos. Everything's been done so well. He's been the glue behind it. He's on a hiring mission at the moment. We're constantly, the amount of job ads we're going out, the amount of interviews we've got. Just trying to think of other ones. One of the other ones, actually, this might be quite ripe to talk about is, obviously, we've just agreed a deal with Swisscom. I don't know have you seen that?
No, I haven't. That's exciting. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Swisscom are have effectively joined to give us advisory and tech advisory around the project. So Swisscom, I'm not sure if you know, they're one of the biggest technology companies in Switzerland. They're also members of Hyperledger. They're going to be helping us a lot with kind of use case development, planning, all of that around the project. We're also we've got another partner that's helping us with a lot of development resource, which we can't announce yet, but hopefully we will be able to announce. Alongside that, and obviously we're hiring a lot of people at the moment within, obviously I'm trying to think of all the different people, like Leanne's great. She's been doing a lot of our marketing. We've just had Belinda join. She's doing our strategy and partnerships. And one of the things I guess, just talking about the team, is the team's really glued together with this, that, you know, everything's, I won't say easy, but smooth. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone gets on.
Awesome.
We've got an amazing community, which helps. So yeah, I'm really excited. We've got the right people there to be building this company, not just project, but this entire company out, and the skills are there to do it.
It's really nice to hear that the team's a good unit together and that you are hiring. One question would be, who do you need still on the team? What positions are you looking to fill at the moment?
So the biggest one that I guess everyone wants to know is where's the proof of concept coming along. So that I'm confident that we're going to deliver at the end of this month. So that's being handled by, we've done a lot of the kind of design and architecture behind it, and then we've got development partner developing that for us, which hopefully we can announce soon. And then we've got our developers in-house assisting on that, and then also kind of working on the next stages of that. So we want to do a proof of concept that then starts rolling. So as you've heard, we're going to hopefully do the speed test, and we're going to have, coming over the next couple of months, a lot of not kind of demos, but pieces of functionality where we start to really show people what the platform's capable of, how the UI is going to work, how the app builder will work, and so on. So yeah, I'm confident that, touch wood, all that at the end of this month we should be able to release our proof of concept to everyone.
Excellent, and that'll be before the ICO happens.
Yeah, we're aiming for 28th of March. Basically, the kind of plan we've got is we're going to release something on the 28th of March. Obviously, the ICO runs for a month, and potentially we might a week later do a further release if we can't get it to where we are. But hopefully, all things go well. Obviously, software development, but we should be there in time for launch day.
Absolutely, and you always, like you said, sometimes unexpected things turn up, and you just never know with developing software. You get everything ready, and then last minute, oh, who forgot to do that?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing that. No, you were going to do that. These things do happen without a doubt. When are we going to see the full platform roll out? What's the, is it going to be Q2, Q3? When are people going to be able to start, using this, building applications on it?
I would hope that what we should have is by Q3, certain things available. So, it's going to take time to release the full platform, but we can start as soon as possible. We can start giving people the tools to start building stuff ready for that. That we're as excited as anyone else. We want to get this out as soon as physically possible, but also we need to make sure that when it is released, it's released well, and that we're not releasing a bad piece of software, that everything's been thought of. So yeah, Q3, we'll start to see some parts of it, I think, and then moving into Q4 towards a full release.
Very awesome. What is the Omnitude Foundation?
So one of the things that I think is important for any company in this space is governance. So that's kind of part of our decision to kind of form in the UK as well. That the Omnitude Foundation will be a group of people to govern what Omnitude does. So make those more strategic decisions. Check that we are doing what we said we'd be doing, where we're spending ICO funds. That entire kind of governance piece. So it'll be a board of 10 people. In terms of one of the people already guaranteed on that is Sally Eves, which no doubt you've heard of. She's going to be joining as head of governance. And we'll have, what we aim to do is we'll have someone there to represent all the token holders, someone there to represent developers, someone there to represent different sectors and different parts of the community. So everyone's voice is then covered when we make strategic decisions, how we are, and the reports from the foundation will be released so that people can feel confident that it's transparency, which us as blockchain, we aim for transparency, but that transparency should also roll into how the business is run.
Cool.
And another part of that is that we'll be getting audited every single year. Omnitude will be audited, and that released to all of the token holders.
So you're running it like a business, not like some crazy crypto project. This is fantastic. Getting audited, being transparent for your customers, amazing. I love the whole ethos behind what you guys are trying to do. What about your competition? Who do you see as being competition? Is it Amazon? Is it other cryptocurrency projects?
I guess as I see at the moment, we don't have any competition. I think we're first to market of that with this. It's one of the reasons that we delayed announcing really late, and a lot of people said we're under the radar, is we waited until we were really ready, because as far as we could see, there was no one attempting to do this. So I would have thought competition for us, not now but in the future, would be private chains that do a similar thing to what we do. So take the idea, but you do it perhaps on a more enterprise level, solely for enterprise, or do it on just a company level as a piece of software that you deploy rather than using the entire ecosystem. No one's actually doing that yet, and we'd hope that because I think the pricing of Omnitude is going to be incredibly competitive, more so than, probably a factor of 10, if not 20, cheaper than the nearest non-blockchain version of a middleware layer.
It's hard to compete.
But they would just come and, yeah. So, but that's kind of one of the benefits of having the wide appeal and so many people developing it, that you got economies of scale. So hopefully people will just come and use Omnitude because there's not a high barrier to entry, rather than kind of start trying to compete with Omnitude itself. Yeah, and I think the price will be higher.
Fascinating. Now, an existing platform like Amazon, could they theoretically build on top of Omnitude?
Yeah, so one of the things that we want to do is with Omnitude, we'll release as much of the functionality in the platform as we can and make it open for people to extend that functionality. So we don't want to restrict anything. So if someone's got a really great idea, we can enable them to kind of slot in and hook into the Omnitude ecosystem to put in bits of functionality that they want. And we want to engage with the community. We're open to everything. That, if someone's got a great idea, one of the things, actually, I'm not sure we've covered, is we want to fund one of the Omnitude Foundation's roles. Will be any interesting projects. We'll be funding them to build within the Omnitude system. If someone's got a great idea, which kind of goes on to this question, that they've got a great idea, but they just want funding. We can then go, the Omnitude Foundation can release a certain amount of funds to enable them to build their idea, which should be voted on by the foundation. Possibly as well, it'd be nice to do some community work around like pitch, that kind of thing, that we can do projects that want to do interesting things within Omnitude and take it out to the community as pitches and let them decide which ones they want to see.
Neat. That's great. Nothing like incentivizing people to build with you, like giving them money, and then of course getting the community involved so that they have people who actually want to use that application when it comes out. Neat.
Yeah.
It's time to talk about some numbers. The token sale. How much are you raising?
We're raising $25 million in total, of which we raised $4.2 million in our pre-sale. Obviously, it's quite hard to stop on a deadline, so we went a little bit over. So our main sale was $20 million.
Yeah, the pre-sale was very popular. I know that a lot of people were really excited about it. And I was actually planning on doing a review of Omnitude before the pre-sale, and then I kind of waited 2 days, and I looked back, and it's finished already. So I'm gonna have to do something a bit later. So I was really excited, of course, to get to sit down with you because of that. How much is a token gonna cost? What's the rate per Ethereum, for example?
So we do a live rate at the point of sale. So we've pegged it to US dollars. So each econ will sell at 46 cents per econ. So within our token sale platform, when the sale goes live, you'll go in there and you'll see a live exchange rate, which we use CoinMarketCap to do, and that's the live sale price. So rather than kind of pegging it at the beginning, which some do, we've done that way. So it's, I think, fairer for all that way around.
Great. So 46 cents. How many tokens in total will there be?
In total, there's 100 million, of which 55 million are released for the ICO.
Great. And so 55 million are going for public sale. The other 45 million are staying with the company. So what percentage of that will be going to the Omnitude Foundation, and what percentage will be for team and advisors?
So the team percentage is, team and advisors is 12%, which are vested for 5 years. So 20% of those are locked up each year after the first year. with the rest going to the Omnitude Foundation.
That's great. That's
to then be used.
It's actually a rather small amount. A lot of teams are and advisors are taking much larger percentages. So I think that's really good to see as well, that it's a rather low number. I'd just like to throw that in there. So that is really cool. Now, if anybody wants to learn more about the Omnitude ICO, I'll have a link down below. They can go ahead and check out the website. But if other than that, what are the best ways to find out more information than checking out just the website?
We're very active in Telegram. So I think about 2 hours ago, we just passed 18,000 in our Telegram channel. You can go in there, you can chat with me direct, you chat with the rest of the team. We've got quite an active community in there, community helpers. You can get answers 24 hours a day. We've also got some sub-language channels as well. If perhaps English is not your preferred language, that we've started to now build those out. So you can chat with other Omnitude fans in your native tongue.
Nice. Awesome. Chris, this has been a great chat about Omnitude. I think it's a really cool project. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your business trip to sit down and talk to us for a few minutes.
Oh, no worries. It's been nice talking to you. It's great to share Omnitude.
Awesome. Thank you.